The Smiths were considered one of the most important bands to emerge out of the English independent music scene during the 80s. While they were only together for about half a decade, they would be highly influential on the bands who came after them. And by 1987, the band disbanded due to internal tensions between the members, but almost 2 decades after the group broke up, one TV show attempted the impossible, reuniting the Smiths. Stay tuned for the full story. For 2 seasons in the mid-2000s, VH1 ran a show called Bands Reunited. As the title suggests, the show would try to reunite bands from the 80s, most notably forgotten bands like ABC, Dramarama, A Flock of Seagulls, Haircut 100, Romeo Void and Klymaxx, to name a few. The premise of the show was quite simple. Viewers would watch host Umar Halim simply approaching members of these bands out in public or in the actual offices they worked. They would talk through some of the reasons the band broke up, with the goal of each episode having the band reunite at the end for a one-off performance. Surprisingly, the show was mostly successful in reuniting bands they went after. Some of the outcomes were far better than the show had hoped for. Dramarama, for example, recorded a new album. But not everybody was happy, as Kurt Harland of the Information Society slammed the show for the tactics they employed. Although Information Society had reformed with Harland as a full-time member, he would not be involved in the reunion that came about due to the show. He would criticize the show's presentation, claiming they edited interviews to make it appear more dramatic than it really was. He would say the following on his website: "What irritated me throughout the process, but especially when they intruded into my company's building, was that they seemed to be walking in the cloud of unreality about the true nature of what was going on. Somehow they just seemed to think that once everyone realized it's for TV, that suddenly no one would really mind the disruption and lack of respect for real people doing real work to create real content," he'd say. This brings us to the Smiths reunion. The producers called it the holy grail for music fans, but the odds were pretty stacked against the show. The band had reportedly already turned down $50 million just to do a handful of shows, and frontman Morrissey once claimed he would rather eat his own testicles than reform the Smiths, and it's no surprise it was a tall order to even attempt to reunite the band. Morrissey at this point in time in 2004 was out doing a solo tour promoting his album You Are the Quarry, and he was in New York to perform a 5-day residency at the Apollo Theater. The show's producers and production staff sat outside the venue hoping to catch the singer before soundcheck and convince him to reunite the Smiths. Here's what actually happened.
The first person in the lead, followed by camera, and then sound.
Now the Smiths is the holy grail for us. They're one of the coolest bands in the world, and the whole entire network was dying for us to pull it off.
The idea was as soon as he got out of his car, we would pounce and get something.
We knew that he had a sound check scheduled in the afternoon. We went and we sort of went around the corner to a parking lot, and we're waiting for him to be there because we're going to get him during the sound check.
Stephen Morrissey? Stephen Patrick Morrissey hasn't arrived yet for his sound check.
Show up.
Burgers are here.
So we wait some more and we wait some more.
For a good, had to be 4 or 5 hours.
It's getting closer and closer to showtime. You know, we have to at least get him before he goes in the show.
Is that him?
Suddenly you hear, Morrissey, Morrissey.
Morrissey? 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 So he went straight in. No shot.
6 hours of waiting and he blew right by us.
And that's when we suddenly all sort of said to ourselves, maybe this is not the right time to try and do the Smiths.
Bands Reunited would be pulled off the air after only 2 seasons in 2006, and there's been no talk about bringing it back. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the story in the comments section below, and we'll see you guys next time on Rock and Roll True Stories. Take care.